So
we are back.
We didn't have any sound there. So listen, we'll take it from the top.
So this is the live 11 where we're going to be talking about some weird non-conforming marketing sales methods that produce 4K of recurring income. Now, this was from a conversation myself and Jay were having earlier on today about like people when they start. There's Adam, what about you, mate? So when people are starting off in business, the amount of stuff.
Give us an L thumbs up if you can hear us, by the way, because we had an L sound issue there a second ago.
Yes.
Thumbs up if you can hear. Keep going.
Yeah. So we were having this conversation about the mad shit people will spend money on. Like, what are you saying?
Yeah, so look, you see a lot of situations where people are opening up gyms or they're getting going in gyms and they spend all sorts of money on equipment. So it could be, you know, a fucking new rowing machine, a skier, an aerodyne, all this type of stuff, all right? And ultimately, nobody really cares about it. So somebody could spend €1,000, €2,000 on this equipment and it's not going to make any difference to their business, all right? It's not going to make them or get them any more clients, especially in the beginning. But very often they're afraid or fearful to invest in themselves. And I kind of get it a little bit because there's so many fucking gurus out there and people saying, oh, you know, do this and do that and you're going to get all these clients. And in some ways, for some of those people, it will come true. For other people, there's a lot of hard work in it as well. But the point being this, if you're not willing to invest in yourself, why the fuck would anybody invest in you? Because ultimately, when somebody comes to train with you, they are investing in you to help themselves. So they're making an investment in themselves. And it's not really you telling them, oh, do this exercise and do that fucking squat for 3 sets of 10 and da. They're actually investing in themselves and you're the conjugate through which they are investing in themselves, for want of a better expression.
It's important to get a handle of this because I can see a lot of dudes, you know, feeling comfortable with investing money in equipment and shit like that, and that whole idea, well, if you build it, they will come and this is going to work. People are going to be impressed by this shit. But it's easy to go and spend money on that. It's much harder to have that conversation where you're actually investing in yourself, because what you're going to have is somebody holding up the mirror to you and showing you the work that you're avoiding, because it's uncomfortable to look. And sometimes a wee bit unsexy, because fucking Guru Bob on the internet showing you this tactic that's going to get you 5 clients in a month. You know, and half the time Guru Bob doesn't even own a fucking gym. Or if he did, he wasn't making money in it, and that's why he's selling advice on how to run a fucking gym. A lot of those dudes hide behind marketing because they're not good at actually what they're doing. But the point I'm making is you have to look at this uncomfortable shit. You can't bury your head in the sand and ignore this stuff. And some of it is like strategic and long-term and big picture thinking, but that's the stuff that you need to do if you're going to grow a business. So we're going to delve into these areas, and what I want to talk about is, like, there's Adam Malloy, he's on here. We had a conversation with Adam Malloy just 2 days ago, right? And it was like this, Sean, do you remember the marketing and sales day? He's just had a fucking explosion there with his water bottle. Do you remember the sales and business day? I was like, yeah, I did what you said. I was fucking shocked, not because it worked, but because it was the speed. The dude fucking did the uncomfortable work that most people avoid and do other shit that allows them to justify their actions. Kind of like the person that's avoiding following your nutrition plan because it's hard. It's fucking hard to do the work. It's uncomfortable. But listen, growing business is uncomfortable. Anytime you want results, you're going to have to face a wee bit of uncomfort. And this dude fucking did it. There he is. He's making 4K recurring revenue. Adam's like, I want into Ascension. What's the next step? So he's where to take up with us. And these systems that we're going to show you, which he's implemented at level 1, get you to a recurring income of 4K. Level 2, people take a jump from 4 to 7. That's level 2 of these 5 systems we're going to show you today. Level 3 is 10K and beyond, right? So these 5 systems are exactly what we're going to run you through. And I suppose the other conversation we were having is the investment conversation. It can be a wee bit difficult. Some people get their head around, but I can't afford this. How can I afford it? It's like, how can you afford not? When people are spending money on bikes that they don't have the clients to sit on, yet they're not spending money and investing in learning these systems that they can plug into their business to actually get clients where they're getting a return on their investment, they're just looking at it the wrong way. It's mad. Like, there was a guy we're having a conversation with here today who, he only just told us, like, Sean, in the beginning, I had to split that payment for Ascension over 2 credit cards. Back then, he was having anxiety attacks about money because he was not in control of it. Money was making decisions for him. He wasn't making decisions for money. Now he's at the point where he's at level 2 in these systems and he has no worries about money. He's stable, he's secure, and his business is growing. And the best part about it is that he's in control. He's not like a fucking somebody who's watching. He's now an active participant. He's in control of this shit. So that's what we want to give you. We want to give you these systems so that you have control of your business.
Sweet.
Take it away, Jay.
So listen, guys, I'll give you a quick overview of these and then we'll get into each one in detail, all right? Now, just remember that no matter where you are in your business, we're kind of talking about here somebody starting off, but this could just as easily be pumped into a business which is already up and running. And really what you want to do is you want to have a look and see, listen, what's the lowest hanging fruit here? What one thing could I take away from this conversation? And like what Adam done, go and action it today. So not write it down, go, oh, fuck yeah, that's great idea. Oh, yeah, great idea. And then do fuck all with it, all right? So less fluting about with more action. So there's 5 systems. So the first one is going to be lead generation. After our lead generation is going to come sales. After our sales is going to come fulfillment. After that, fulfillment, referrals, and then reactivation. All right. So we'll flip back up and we'll go back into the lead generation. So really, we're talking about someone, you know, they might be working somewhere like FlyFit, right? A lot of the guys, when they finish up here, they might go into somewhere like FlyFit or Ben Dunn. So you want to be thinking, right, there's both internal marketing and external marketing that you can do in this scenario. So internal marketing is going to be, listen, go up and speak to people, all right? There's hundreds or thousands of members in the gym. They'll probably have hundreds of members coming through the door each day, all right? And only a small percentage of those actually take up personal training.
Or get results.
So there's a huge opportunity there. And then really what you have to do is set yourself a target of, listen, how many conversations are you going to have on a daily basis? Now, the way I'd like to look at this is don't set yourself a maximum. You can turn around and say, I'm going to speak to 15 people a day. Set yourself a minimum target. Maybe it's 5 conversations. And a conversation could be as short as 2 or 3 minutes all the way up to maybe a half an hour, right? But don't get in fucking waffly territory with people. Be direct. It's like, listen, you want to speak to them about it, you know, giving them some sort of benefit, all right? So if somebody's over doing fucking kettlebell swings all banana flavored and you can go over and help them, excellent, right? They've got a benefit from that. And then that conversation can lead on, whether it's later on that day, banana flavored kettlebell swings. Whether it's later on that day, whether it's another day, but basically you've opened up a dialogue with the person. So again, think about this. If you've said, I work 5 days a week, I'm going to have a minimum of 5 conversations, directed conversations where you're trying to move the person on from, hey, listen, can I help you? To, hey, listen, would you like more help with that? Right, that's 25 conversations in a week. If you cannot pick up one client from that 25 conversations, fuck me, you're doing something wrong, right?
Shock.
Big time.
Oh, you need help with your sales.
Yeah, the next thing then is, listen, external. So have a think to yourself, listen, in your local area, where is there people that would potentially want to use your services? So let's say me and Sean, if we're going for lunch down in Blackrock, whoever's serving us the lunch, all right, we're going to have a conversation about them training. They know we train. It's like, did you see the pythons? They know that we're fucking in the gym. The t-shirt says it this way.
Actually, one of the places we have a bit of food sometimes in Melfig, we noticed the girl, we were like, fuck me! You have lost a fucking amazing amount. And she was like, thank you for noticing. Yeah, I have. We were like, holy shit. Listen, let's give her a fucking 147 card for a trial at gym. We came up and we said, listen, do you know what? We really noticed. We'd fucking love to help you for the rest of your year. Really? I know you, because we've gone in there loads of fucking times. We were like, yeah, would you like to take 30 days fucking personal training for free, gift on us? And she was like, holy shit. Over the minute, like, fucking, this is worth like fucking thousands. And we're giving it to her for free. She's like, of course, fuck yeah. Are you serious? You like, honestly? We were like, yeah, 100%, take it. That's like simple things like that.
Yeah.
That offer.
So again, if we're kind of recap this lead generation, and again, we're going through this quite quickly and it might say, oh yeah, actually try it and then come back and tell us what happened. So you're going to commit to having X amount of conversations with people. You're going to try and move the conversation onto a point where you offer them something. And ideally, it's going to be giving something for free, whether it is a free one-on-one session, whether it's a trial of your services. Somebody gave us a fuck.
Somebody's angry about that.
Somebody's angry. We must have said fuck too many times. So if you're an angry person, back off. And anyway, so you have some sort of offer that you're giving the person. Conversation, offer. Sean, take it into the next bit.
So then, look, the next bit can sort of trip people up because they think, oh, fuck, sales. Well, the first thing is don't ever set yourself up for failure, right? So you need to actually know what happens next. So if you're having the conversation, before you have the conversation, map out, well, what is the offer? Like, we know that we have a 147 gift card. We can say, look, we have a trial at the gym for 30 days and I just wanted to offer you that. Would you like to take that up? Look, let me get you booked in for your first session. We can do that right there and then. So we're getting an action, we're saying, when are you coming to the fucking gym? And I don't leave the coffee shop and say, are you coming on Monday? Right, write your number down here. I'm going to ring you, I'm going to book you in, and we're going to see you on Monday. Yes? And I'm getting at yes, that's the calling people to task, a strong call to action, not like, oh, so maybe we'll see you down the gym. That's people live in this land of maybe, tell it, you give me a ring if you need me. No, that's fucking bullshit. Get them booked in there and then. Something very definite, a definite outcome. So know what the next step is and be certain in your ability to deliver. Practice the fucking thing. Say it over, like fucking in front of when you're brushing your teeth. I don't give a fuck where you practice, but practice it. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you don't practice this shit and you're leaving it the chance and you think that you're not going to stumble over your words, you are. So you have to know what the next step is, plan it out, and then practice saying that until it comes smooth. Then when you're standing in front of somebody and you're delivering it, it's going to come across with certainty. And that's what makes people feel like, oh, this dude knows what he's doing. If they feel like you're stumbling over this shit and you don't know what the fuck you're doing, you're going to seem like an amateur. And nobody wants to be trained like an amateur. You're not filling them with certainty in your delivery. If you can't close them there, how the fuck are you going to be able to close them on following your nutrition advice, getting them to the gym and getting them some sort of results? So look, that's the offer. So getting them actually to the front door of your business is step one of sales. The next thing is knowing what happens after that. So we talked about this a lot when we talk about like having an elegant business model. Like, look, we're doing content in here, right? We're giving this away for free. Some people at the end of it always contact me and say, hey, what's the next step? How do I get involved? Or how do I take the next step to get some assistance, get you to help me implement those in the business? And we go, okay, well, here's what the next step is. So the next step is going to be like the first step onto your ladder. It could be your offer, it could like our 147 trial for 30 days. And after that, you go into the core. It's like, this is recurring. So you need to map out, well, what's your free content? What's your low barrier offer? And then what's your core offer? Because that's where you want everybody to go into. That's how you get recurring income. And for personal trainers, like we like 8 or 12. So it's like, dude, after this 30-day trial, you're going to know exactly what is going to be the best option for you to continue getting results. It's going to be between 8 or 12 sessions a month, and that's going to look like this. Sound fair enough? So that's it. You just map out your core offer, where it fits in with your low barrier offer and your content. So you know how people ascend into where you want them to stay. And then you know what your options are going to be. Option A is 8 sessions a month, and option B is 12. And they look like this. I think for the best way for you to get results is this one right here. Do you want to get started on that today? Cool. That's the way it's going to roll over after this trial period. So knowing that means that you're going to have absolute certainty in your ability to deliver. Now that's quick, right? But even if you just did that, you would have the certainty you need to talk to the next person and know what happens after that, and you would be able to call them to task. Now, learning efficiencies in that and learning how to deliver better pitches is, of course, where you're going to need some sort of sales training. Now, look, I could do a whole fucking webinar, meganar, hours and hours, and I could talk for days on sales to get people better, but this is enough to get you to action right away. So step one is, what is your offer to get them to the front door? Step two, what happens next? Map it out. And what's your core offer? How do people continue on getting results with you? Is there 2 options? Is it 8 or 12? And what does that look like in terms of the financial investment? Knowing that means you can deliver that pitch with certainty. And that's what you need. That's the first step, just having that so that you can have directed conversations, as Jay says, and you know what happens next and you can call people to task. I would say that's enough. Oh, Layla Maroney, I am hoping to learn how much content to keep giving for free and what to hold it back for paying clients. I've been so open on my journey, it's going to be difficult to pull back, and that is what folk have bought into. Any tips? Layla, do you know what? We'll answer that at the end. That's a very, very good question. Let us give you this stuff first, though, Layla, and we'll come back to that because I have the answer. So the next one, dude, is fulfillment.
All right, good. So thinking with the fulfillment bit, like, if you think of most people's journey, most people start off working for somebody else in some way, shape, or form. So they are some form of employee. Even in some of these kind of hybrid, let's call it a hybrid contract, where you might be going in somewhere like FlyFit, you're giving them over X amount of hours, and then they're giving you access to the client. It's still kind of, you're still somewhat an employee. You're not 100% self-employed, all right? But most people want to make that transition from employee into self-employed. Actually seeing that up in FlyFit the other day, moving into self-employed. And then if you want to grow and expand and get freedom, whether that be time or money within your business, you've got to move into a situation where you create a business where you're going to employ people and they're going to take over some of the brunt, all right? Because there's only so many people you can train. And ultimately, if we think about the business that we're in, there's only 2 ways really to make money. It's like train more people, okay? But there's a very finite amount of time that we have, or charge people more money, or a combination of both, train more people and charge them more money. But even at that, I don't want to turn around and say, oh, there's a limit to how much you can charge. I mean, because there is fucking personal trainers out there. I mean, I think Dax Moy at one stage was charging $25,000 for a week. Yeah. So there is people out there which are charging crazy amounts of money, and there is people that can pay it, but they're very few and far between, all right? So let's talk reality here. So the only way then for you to get more money is to create a fulfillment system which can handle more volume and get other people to help you doing that. All right, so that's the number one thing for you to think about. And it's like the question, you know, a lot of times when we talk to people, most people have two numbers in their head. They either want 50 grand or they want 100 grand, depending on where they're at, right? Very few people, when we speak to them at first, are thinking of beyond that, right? So it's either 50 or 100. Then if you actually sit down and do the maths on this, look at their capacity. A lot of people are nowhere near have the business structure in order to do this. Sean mentioned that like a business model earlier. Nowhere near having the structure to do this. So when we're talking about fulfillment, it's not just what sets and reps do you do. What is the structure of your gym or the services that you provide in order for you to maximize the amount of money you can make and also maximize the amount of people that you can help?
And this is the sort of unsexy stuff we talk about that Guru Bob on the internet. Doesn't matter what fucking tactic he gives you. Doesn't matter. I mean, if your business can only handle this amount of people, you don't need getting more leads and being better at sales doesn't fucking help. But most people don't consider the possibility that, oh shit, I'm not making this money because actually I haven't set up a business that's going to allow me to make this money.
So again, if you were to just think about it and just do out the maths, let's say you're a one-on-one personal trainer, how many clients can you actually train?
There's a cap on it.
There's a very definite cap. It's like if somebody's training twice a week and you're going to do 40 personal training, or 40 fucking hours, you're talking 20. That's it. You can only train 20 people.
I remember doing 44 sessions a week in the business, and I thought, yeah, I've cracked it, 44 sessions. You do not want to do that.
You're not going to do that for very long because look, there's follow-up, there's programs, there's all the other stuff around training people that's not actually that hour training them on the gym floor. And if you're just the type of dude who walks in and you look at the person walking across the floor, you scratch your nuts and then you go, deadlifts today, that's a different story. But if you're actually coaching people, you're training them, you have programs, there's nutrition stuff to follow up, you can see how that's going to take you a lot of time.
Yep. Cool. Have we covered it all?
Yeah, that's it. That's all I want to talk about fulfillment.
Did it? One thing I want to say is sometimes, and I did this in a couple of lives, back, some guy was like, I want you to help my business. And I had to bring him to the realization. I was like, dude, you don't have a business here. You own a job. He's like, what do you mean I own a job? No, I'm in a personal training business. I'm self-employed. It's like, yeah, but what happens if you take 3 weeks off? Well, I wouldn't get paid. It's like, well, then you don't have a business, do you? Oh, fuck, right. You like motorbikes, don't you? I know he likes motocross, this guy. Oh yeah, fuck, if I busted myself, yeah, I'd be a big dish. If you answered yes to those questions, you have to realize that you're at the part at the minute where you actually don't have a business. And to get there, you're going to need to instill these fucking systems that's going to give you the predictable, repeatable, profitable money you need to actually have a business at one stage.
Sweet.
What's next? Referral. So this is a cracker because we've got 3 things that we would do in here. We would show you guys in Ascension. We're only going to talk about 2 of them, Jay. Yeah. I'll talk about the flip. You can tell them about the nip, right? It's called flip, drip, and nip. But flipping is on the call just the other day. I was booking somebody in for a 147 28-day transformation, and she started to talk about her daughter, right? And this can happen sometimes on the phone. I'm like, shit, is your daughter? Does she need help with training as well? And she was like, yes. Maybe we should. I said, do you know what we can do? Actually. We're talking about you having a trial for 147 euros, and I'm going to give you our 300 quid thing for just 147 euros. But would you like to get that for 75? And you and your daughter could both train together? She was like, fuck yeah. I was like, well, just send me a number and I'll get her involved as well. We'll do a consultation for the both of you. We'll both get you started and we'll split that 147 in 2. So you both end up only paying 75, but you get the 300 quid thing. That's a fucking no-brainer, right? And she was like, yeah, 100%. So, like on the back end of it, we know how much it costs us to get a fucking lead, to get a number and to get somebody on the phone. We know how much it costs to acquire a client. And by me turning that 1 sale into 2, Selena and her daughter, Alexi, by turning that 1 client and asking her, would you have somebody that would like to start with you? Turning that into like drastically reduce our cost of acquisition per client. And talking even about cost of acquisition per client is really unsexy, but if you know those numbers, you're willing to spend more money in your marketing. And he who can spend the most money to acquire a client always wins. So flipping, like if you have an offer, like we've said earlier, if you build out your offer and you have your next, what happens next? And then you've got somebody on the phone or you're talking to someone and you ask that simple question, is there anybody you would love to have the kind of results that we're just about to embark on? Would you like to have somebody on this journey with you? Fuck yeah. Could you give me the name of them? And right away, I'll just get them involved right away. So you can turn 1 client into 2. So that's one way to turn one lead into 2 clients. That's the flip.
So the nip bit then would be like, listen, what could you do for somebody? Let's say if I was training Sean, right? What could I do for Sean to incentivize or to motivate Sean to go out and get one of his mates or his wife to come and train with us? All right. So ultimately, think about this. It's like, I might say, Sean, have you got any mates that want to come to the gym? And he's going to go, oh yeah, my friend fucking John would love to go to the gym. He plays golf and he wants to lose a bit of weight. But then the conversation generally just ends there. So Sean might go to John, I'm going to this deadly gym. It's cool. You should go there. And he goes, yeah, I'll get around to that. And get around to it never happens. All right. So there's no motivating force there. But imagine I was to turn around and ask Sean. All right. So there's numerous ways you can do this. But ask Sean, listen, have you got any mates that would be interested in the gym? And he'd go, yeah, I'll get this one guy and say, listen, what could I do for you? What would motivate you to put a little bit, lean on your man a little bit and kind of give him a little nudge him off the fence in order to get him into the gym?
Would you give me a month free?
Month free. So Sean wants a month free. I could turn around and say, I wouldn't give you a month free, but I will give you a month half price. Sound fair enough?
Sounds fucking good to me, man.
Cool. Let's rock with that. Or you could give them a month free. Either or.
That's
so now,
arm.
yeah, so now Sean's got something for free. And I turn around and say, listen, I'll do one even better. I'll give you your mate a month for free as well. So now the mate's got a month for free. Sean's got his month for half price or free, depending on how generous you are. And then everybody's happy. So now it goes back to the conversation. Sean's going in going, listen, John, I got you a month free in the gym because I'm a sound bastard. And he's not going to say I'm also after getting a month half price for myself. But he's like, listen, here's Jay's number. Give him a call now. Or will I give Jay your number? Because if I have his number, now I can call him and I can put a little lean on him, let's say, to push him off the fence and to get him to take some action. So remember, the whole thing is, it's what we want to do is just get the person to get a little bit of momentum, all right? So if he's sitting there and, he's not really going anywhere, if I can give him a little nudge, a little push, he gets a bit of momentum and then we can get him going into the gym. So ultimately, that nip is what could I nip off and offer your client? And again, everybody's clients are different. And if you had 20 clients, each of those clients would probably fall into slightly different categories. So what could you do that is going to give them a little bit of motivation to push them forward? So that's the referral bit. Done and dusted.
So look, before we go into the last one, I want to ask you a question just because there's a lot of you on here and some of you are communicating with us, which is fucking brilliant.
And we will cover Layla's question.
We're gonna. I want to know, all these, have you got a lead generation system right now? Yes or no?
No.
Do you have a lead generation system? Have you a way to control leads coming into your business? Yes or no?
Okay, so reactivation, all right? So think about this. So reactivation is kind of, the name is in it. It's like, imagine a situation, Tony, he's fucking unleashing his dragon wings.
Yeah. He's probably squatting bare naked on a...
Yeah, he probably has no shoes on. So in any hoozles, reactivation, yeah. So with the reactivation, okay, imagine a situation, you've been a personal trainer, even a few months or a year or maybe 2 years, okay? Imagine every single person you ever trained, even if it was only a one-on-one session once, imagine every single person you ever trained, right? You wrote down all the names. Imagine you never lost them, all right? So if you had 100% retention record, you wouldn't need to worry about marketing because nobody would ever go anywhere, all right? So within reactivation, you're kind of saying to yourself, listen, why do people leave? If you're good at what you're doing and people are leaving the gym, it's probably a money issue. It could be they got sick. It could be they kind of just fell out of love with training for whatever reason, all right? And most of those people are probably sitting at home saying, like that momentum conversation, saying to themselves, fuck, I would love to start training again, and then they just fill in that with some bullshit. But if you were to go out with them and just give them that little nudge off the fence, open up the door, open up your arm and say, listen, dude, do you want to come back and do a little bit of training? We still love you. And at the same time, I'm going to give you an offer, maybe give them a month at half price.
Reduce the friction.
Just cut down the friction between them having to pick up the phone and turn around and saying to you, look, at loads of people are saying, no.
Yeah.
Them having to get on the phone, and it's hard fucking work.
It's dropping status of getting to get on the phone and say, I was wrong to leave and come back. But if you take the initiative and say, dude, we'd love to have you back, and here's what we're going to do to get you back because we love you. There's some people we would just rather have in the gym because they add something to it, and you're one of those guys. Can we get you back?
Yeah.
That means they're not taking a drop in status. In fact, you're up in their status by saying you fucking love them. That makes it so much easier for them to overcome their bullshit story and say, fuck it, these guys want me back. They go, fuck, my gym contacted me and said they fucking love me and they want me back. Rather than them having to admit defeat and say, I was fucking wrong to leave. And then ring them and they're on the back foot there. That's not good.
Amazing. So guys, we'll start moving this on, all right? So what we're going to do next, listen, a lot of people come around and said, no lead generation. If you want help with that, send us a message.
Yes.
Genuinely, send us a message and we'll help you out, okay?
Adam knows already.
Yeah, Adam's in, so he's already going to get help. So listen, down to Layla's question. So Layla asked the question.
That's really key in here. So Layla, I am hoping to learn how much content to keep giving for free and what to hold back for paying clients. I've been so open on my own journey, it's going to be difficult to pull back. As that is what folk have bought into. Any tips? Just not angry face people.
I think that just comes up, but I think that was just in the mix. Listen, so the thing that you want to have a look at here is, listen, you're going to tell people, there's two ways of looking at it. First way, you tell people what to do, all right, that's your content, what to do, but don't necessarily tell them how to do it. So you're leaving out a piece of the puzzle that's like, this is what I need to do. How do I do it? Well, if you want to know how to do it, come in to the inside where I give you all those details. That's one way of thinking about it, isn't it? So another way that you can think about it is, listen, I'm going to fucking give everything. I'm going to give them all the content because at the end of the day, they're not going to do it anyway. Content is not people's problem. The internet is full of content. Yeah. The internet has much better programs than what I can write for somebody because the world's best programmer is putting programs. The internet has much better nutrition advice because the world's best nutrition person is putting advice out there. The problem is not that people haven't got the information. The problem is that they're not taking action. Implementation. They don't know how to use it, or they just don't know how to link it up, or they're not fucking motivated, whatever you want to say, to take the action. So really what the people are going to pay you for is to bring them on that journey, to help them, to hold their hand and bring them on that journey.
I'm not in favor of giving, like, and this is put out there saying like, oh, give everybody everything for free because if they'll go, fuck, if that's what's for free, what happens when I pay them? Look, there's a reason why they give you a tester when you go down to fucking Dunn stores or wherever the fuck you go, because if they give you so much food that you were full, you wouldn't continue to shop. So they give you a tester so that you've had a little bit. You need to still be hungry. That's the first thing, and I learned that from Ben Settle, who's a fucking expert, right? And I love that because he gave a story where he was like, there's a reason that you don't put a full fucking fish on a hook when you're fishing for it. You put a little bit of bait on there, so you need to bait the hook. It's the concept of baiting the hook with your content, okay? The other thing is, if you give people if you tell them information, if you give them like how to do it, that's not what they're going there for. You fuck them over because they don't actually know how to implement that stuff. You know, it would be like me standing here in this video and telling you like how to write a program, like going into the science of a program. That's not what you're here for.
And again, some of the problem can be that if you give people too much information, even if the information is amazing, they're going to feel so overwhelmed that they won't actually take any action. So when you're looking at online websites and things like that, this is one of the biggest things that the online experts will tell you. It's that giving people less very often is giving people more, because if people go in and there's like 100, fucking pictures, and in every picture there's a program or there's nutrition or there's an inspirational video, but it doesn't matter how much it costs you, but you've only watched 2 of the videos, in the people's psychology is going to be like, fuck, I'm paying €20 for all this content and I'm not using it. Therefore, I don't want it anymore. I'm not, I'm not getting value out of it. Where if there was one piece of content and they were going to consume that. So basically consumption is the thing.
Consumption is key.
It's like if they're not consuming it, it's a total waste of time.
Yeah. But again, now you're seeing that there's a much bigger conversation to have here. Like we learned this from people like Ryan Lee, who is like the father of fucking internet marketing, and Russell Brunson, people who that's their whole business and they're in the hundreds of millions in that. So like, listen, it works. Well, they're doing it the right way. If you were doing something online, I mean, you do need to have this mapped out very strategically so that you know at what point you're baiting the hook and at what point you're going to have the kind of information that they should be paying for that will be consumed, and that is both an art and a science, mate. So done right, it's very nice and it's strategic and it works well, and you get people who get great results. Done wrong, and you're going to be thrashing around frustrated, wondering why people are not consuming your content, not getting results, and you can't sell it to anybody. And you're coming from a place of wanting to help, you're just doing it the wrong way. So
again, guys, any other questions while we're here?
That was good. That was really good.
That's a good question. Absolutely.
It could be you teach them what they need to know, like a diving instructor. No, you don't want to teach, ever teach. Like, we did not teach when we come on here. We told you what to do, and we wound it into stories that you can actually take the lesson from within the story and apply it. So it's very simple and really your job should just be to break down beliefs. Like, when you break down the beliefs and give people the ability to see a future where success is not only probable, but it's possible, that's where they want to take the next step with you. And that's where you can actually help them. Don't try and teach them online. It's like trying to feed a dog medicine. It doesn't want to eat medicine. And when you're online like this, you don't want to go into hard teaching. You want to soft teach. That's why you tell them what, not how. Don't go into the how. You don't want to teach somebody how to fucking calculate their macros online. It's boring as shit. But you watch, what do you call your man, Adam Smith? James Smith. James Smith doesn't hard teach. He tells stories, makes you fucking laugh, and you like the person and you trust the person. Then you're willing to take a next step. When you take a next step and you pay, then you get the lessons. So people pay for the lessons, they pay for the how, but don't give them the how online for free, because they'll leave feeling full and satisfied and never take any action anyway, and you won't get any results with them.
And remember, really, it's like needs and wants. All right. So us as the trainer, we know what the person needs, but they don't want what we're saying. All right. They don't want us to tell them don't be shy. They don't want us to tell them go for a walk 7 days a week for 20 minutes. All right. If the average person didn't be shy, walk for 20 minutes a day, they wouldn't be overweight. But they don't want to hear that, right? They don't want to hear that information, so we have to focus on what they want to hear and wrap it up with the needs. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. She's saying she's still on the fluffier side of stuff. Okay. Well, look, we should have a conversation later.
Be less fluffy.
Yes, be less fluffy. I think that's a lot, dudes. If you implement that shit, the people who said they have no lead generation strategy, use that one. Target yourself on how many conversations you're going to have next week, and look at the local businesses in your area and say, how many am I going to speak to? And then get an offer and go and make it to them. There you go. That's the simplest lead generation. It costs you nothing. The people who do this, who go and have conversations, will close sales next week. They will fucking have a result. The people who don't, won't. It's as simple as that. That is level one. And that's a scratch of the surface of level one that costs you fucking nothing. Yeah? Go and do that if you don't have lead generation, and then show us the results that you're going to have next week. Be great to see it. And in terms of sales, maybe we could do another webinar on sales. We could, like, we've fucking done live events on sales because it's so deep. It's just fucking vast. It's like you could spend hours talking about it. So just go and do the lead generation strategy, I think, for now. We'll talk about sales another time. What do you reckon?
Yeah, listen, reach out. If you ask, you shall receive. So a lot of people turn around and said, no, I don't have it. And I bet you nobody's going to send us a private message saying, hey, dude, can I have help with that? Right.
Dudes, have a fucking great weekend.
Take a smooth and easy. Peace out.